Hi everyone, delonewolf here. Welcome back to an EVE Online video. In today's video I thought I would go over some of the changes that CCP has been announcing to EVE Online that I think are pretty important, and so making a bit of a compilation video of all that stuff that's coming our way I think can be pretty interesting. Maybe we'll try to spot some market opportunities as well when it comes to EVE Online. So here, new eveonline.com. Visuals for me, I'm not sure, maybe it's because I'm using Chrome that it's visible this way. I usually check the EVE Online site on Edge, but what I like here is you get some like statistics here. Over 1600 ships are produced by players every hour. Miners harvest a massive 260 million cubic meters of ore every hour. Over 3,500 active war declarations between player groups at any given time. So these are general statistics. It would be cool if something like that would somehow update, which maybe I'll quickly touch on that. I am playing some Albion Online at the moment as well, and from the looks of it, Albion Online actually does a really good job of giving you that feedback of your own activities in the game, general guild activities in the game, and things like that. So I do like the fact that Path of Exile Albion Online is coming out with a lot of statistics as well, and it's something that maybe CCP can actually improve on as well, although of course we also have the monthly economic report and things like that, but maybe some stats that different types of players would like to get more updates on would be pretty damn nice. Let's move on to some of these dev blogs. First of all, preparing for the future, retirement of Captain's Quarter and Twitch integration. So this is something that did come out of the blue when it came out. By now I'm sure that most of you guys know it, but I see this as sort of a trimming of the fat by CCP. Captain's Quarters apparently used by around 3% of the players on most logins. It's also not a part of the new structure, so citadels and things like that don't have captain's quarters, and basically it does still require a lot of development effort just to keep that up to date on other changes in the game. So there's a lot of stuff that we probably don't know or experience as players, is the actual complexity of a game like this, and the fact that everything can be so interconnected that we don't know the impact that some of the features or some of the changes can have on other features, and is on the development cycle of stuff. Also Twitch integration, I can imagine indeed that this is not used. There are just much better, stable, much more capable tools out there when you're streaming. Who doesn't want a nice overlay and things like that? So that's pretty normal that is going to go away as well. So yeah, the end of the Captain's Quarter, a little bit disappointed. One of the nice humorous posts, I think I saw it on Reddit, is indeed that they should give people maybe for like the next Christmas or something a key for the Captain's Quarters door after it's been retired. So that would be a nice little bit of rubbing it in that yeah, they came out with it, people didn't like it. This was one of the most controversial features in EVE Online when they first came out, because it was so limited in scope, and at this point, basically, the community, after a couple of years, has spoken out by not using the Captain's Quarters actively, that is not what they want for EVE Online. They want more spaceship stuff rather than Captain's Quarters stuff, and so that is now going away. All your goods like uniforms and hats and glasses and things like that will still be visible, of course, on the character creation and on your character, but that will definitely take a big dive, I think, in interest from the players. Unfortunately, no actual numbers on that, I think. Shows course of 2 years, which notes a steady decline from 10% to 3% usage. This is over 3 years. Let's see, over the last 2 years. This, of course, due to structures coming out as well. That is going to precipitate the drop in the use of Captain's Quarters, because, well, lots of people now live outside, out of citadels. They don't have Captain's Quarters, so they don't use that. percentage time logged in the captain's quarters, of course, going to be very, very limited. There's not much that you can do there. And we actually don't get stats on the usage of, and especially I think the buying of stuff like hats, pants, and shirts and things like that in game. I think that would have been actually pretty interesting, but I suspect that it's actually not that great of a revenue stream compared to, let's say, skins for ships, who is going to spend money on a hat that they're going to see maybe 2% of the time, compared to a skin for the ship. I know where I would put my money. So yeah, big first change, and also coming very quickly. The captain's quarters are getting axed in the August release, I think, and then Twitch 1 month later. The Twitch support, so Twitch is not getting the axe, but this in-game support for streaming on Twitch is getting the axe normally in the September release. After that, an interesting dev blog was, of course, the update on the moon mining revamp. So if you want all of the details, definitely check that one out. It's unfortunately still too early to spot actual market possibilities, market opportunities from this dev blog. One thing to note, of course, that yes, the moon mining activity is going to go from being passive to active, and then the gamble that you can take is, of course, to buy up a lot of those moon materials, hoping that they will go up in price. I think I will do some buying myself personally. Again, I never go all out. I never spend tens of billions or something like that on a single category or product as an investment. But I think that basically the Tech 3 changes have shown that even if it doesn't turn out to be that big of a sustained impact on the market, there is always this flash in the pan effect where we did see the low-key double in price, where we saw the Proteus go up in price. And so buying maybe 5, 6 of every 5 to 10 maybe of every Tech 3 ship would have actually been a really good investment, it turns out, although a lot of those are already coming back down substantially in price. And I suspect that we'll see something at least similar when it comes to these moon materials, because of course it is going to get changed. That feature is going to get touched substantially by CCP, and just it being more at the forefront of what's happening in EVE, I think, is going to increase interest into it in and of itself, and probably create a nice sell opportunity. That is my personal expectation, of course. This is purely speculation. Once we get the actual numbers on the potential of what's inside those moons, what can be mined compared to the current passive way of acquiring moon materials, we'll get an actual idea of whether or not we can expect increased supply in total, if, let's say, nobody actually disrupts most of the activities, or if it's basically the same baseline, then of course any disruptions might actually lower supply of these Tech 2 materials. And what I found really interesting as well is that, of course, CCP is going to create new types of ores. They're also going to update the way to find the ores, or what's available inside of moons as well. And a lot of this will actually have stuff like scordite, like the regular minerals in there as well. So what this tells to me is that CCP does have or is developing, maybe you shouldn't say has already found how to do it, but is developing a way to put stuff in those moons pretty easily, and different types of stuff as well. And so for me, I think that this is a very clear sign that CCP keeps at the back of their mind that a lot of people will want this mechanic in different types of space as well. I would put up with fuel costs and barely breaking even, but to get a refinery in HiSec that actually pulls chunks out of a moon so that I can make that available to other players as well, yeah, it would be totally worth it to me to have that mechanic be accessible in wormhole space and in HiSec as well. And I personally think that while CCP has said that it's definitely not coming for the winter expansion, that there is a good chance that it will actually happen later down the road, because there is just, I think, so much interest for this. It makes a lot of sense as well. You don't have to put Tech 2 materials in wormhole space and HiSig, but you can put other stuff in there, which they're showing right here. For instance, in this placeholder, keep in mind, again, all of this is subject to change, of course, but if you can put Crocite in the moon products, then in HiSig you can make moons that only have stuff that you want out of that. That would be HiSig minerals, maybe some Nullsig minerals thrown in there for an incentive to actually go out and use the mechanic. But I think CCP is definitely keeping that at the back of their mind, that it's something that the players want, and that hopefully they'll be able to come out and implement those changes as well. So yeah, pretty big dev blog, not a lot of news when it comes to what they're coming out here with here, but definitely nice to hear that they're working very hard on it. And I liked the information here on the new survey mechanics that showed that, yeah, they'll be able to move Crocite and other types of goods into the moons as well, which means that this is definitely a big step, if they can get this to work properly, towards allowing the mechanic to be used in other types of spaces as well. And finally here, a quick dev post as well, but this is actually, in my opinion, one of the most awesome things to come in our direction here. It's a bit of an update on scanning again. Well, this time at least they're not changing the whole map and things like that, but when using a save location option on entries in the probe scanner window, the signature ID will now be added automatically to the front of the bookmark name. Very, very handy, something that I didn't enjoy doing, felt like a little bit of a grind to keep up with everything that I've scanned when I was doing longer sessions, was that I constantly had to add that name, and so doing that automatically makes a lot of sense. Absolutely incredible change, but the best one is right here. Scan signatures will now be persisted for the duration of a client session. They will no longer be cleared on a session change, for example, when docking, undocking, or jumping through wormholes, etc. So if that also includes gates, which I'm assuming that it does, this is just really, really good, because it will allow you basically to scan a system, do a route that you enjoy doing, come back in that system, and immediately just only spot the new signatures that have spawned in there. That is going to be so good. It's definitely going to bring me back into some more exploration in EVE Online, because this is one of those changes that is going to make it a lot more accessible, but it is going to make your time spent in the game a lot more efficient as well. And personally, I've been watching Marky Dragon's stream a little bit when it comes to EVE Online, and I think a big part of this is that CCP I've definitely noticed it on his stream, but I think CCP noticed it as well, that players are starting to crowdsource their efforts in exploration. And so apparently I saw Marky Dragon check on a site, and he comes into a system and he knows, oh well, we're talking about 2 data sites and a combat site. That's a signature for the combat site, that's what I'm interested in, I'm just gonna scan that one. And so it makes a lot of sense to basically allow us to do that within the client, to not have to use third party, a website or something like that. But if we put the effort in and we know what a signature is, I mean, we're flying spaceships, we're gonna put that information in a computer, and it shouldn't just be gone because we jump through a Stargate. They're also going to update the NPC standings UI. I think that this is a little bit interesting in the sense that I've always thought that CCP could do more when it comes to the standings. They have all of these corporations through the different empires, probably hundreds of them, where you can do standings grinds. There is just very little incentive outside of mission accessibility to actually do those grinds. And yeah, maybe this is part of the new PvE content that CCP is planning to bring out. And if standings come into play, I think that you could have really cool stuff with standings benefiting interactions with the NPCs from those corporations, and also possibly providing certain rewards that would be unique to those corporations. I think that would actually be pretty cool. And if this is a little bit of a prediction, again, this is a little bit of looking in a crystal ball, but The fact that they're touching on this, I think, is an indication that it will play a role in the upcoming PvE features that CCP is planning for EVE Online, especially with the winter expansion. And there you go, guys. Those are some of the updated topics that I wanted to share with you. Yeah, I'm excited for all of this. I actually do look forward to everything that CCP is going to introduce when it comes to EVE Online. Hopefully they can knock it out of the park. Up until then, we'll have to do with the agency. Indeed, the rewards are not exactly what they should be, but I'm definitely going to try and go the easy route. Take all those 10-point quests, try and do those every day, get to that skin, and see where we go from there. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you all next time.